here was on official business. I, Raul A. De La Torre, the Vice Chair, welcome to the private conference for 8 projects under Negros Occidental Faith DEO. Before we proceed, may call on Engineer Romulo Sumanoy to lead us a short prayer.
Let us pray. Our Father, we thank you for this day, for this new opportunity. Please guide us, and as we execute this privilege activity, may you guide us and watch over us as we go through this process. This is all we ask and pray. In the name of Son, Jesus' name, amen.
Thank you, sir. Engineer Romulo Sumanoy. Okay, this private conference is being live streamed to the YouTube channel of DPWH DEO BAC. Kindly turn your cellular phones in silent mode. Thank you. Now I'd like to call on Engineer Binti Moraka to do the roll call.
Thank you, sir. So in order to determine whether the BAC is in quorum, we shall have a roll call. So kindly say present or raise your hand once your name is being called. Engineer City Aipa Yashara Disatar, our BAC chairperson, who is with us remotely via Zoom. Ma'am.
Present.
And,
Present.
thank you, ma'am. Engineer Raul De La Torre, our BAC vice chairperson.
Present.
Ma'am Roda M. Dioka, our BAC regular member, also under Zoom. Ma'am. Okay. Engineer Romulo S. Sumanoy Jr., our BAC provisional member.
Present.
And present also our representative from the implementing office, Engineer Luis Rafael G. Pilares, and a member of our technical working group, Sir George. Also our head of our procurement unit and other staff headed by yours truly, Engineer Brgy Muraka. And we have also representative from Dolis Elementary School, Sir Jolito Pardillo. Sir, good morning. It is also informed that observers were notified for this private conference but none attended. That's all.
Thank you, Sir Vince. Since this committee composed of 5 members and our 2 members is our own official business, but we are 3 members here at present. Therefore, I hereby declare this private conference a quorum. Now, may I request the BAC Secretariat to present the data of its contract of 8 projects.
So these are the projects, the 8 projects that we're going to have for this private conference. So let me read to you. Contract ID number 25RE0027, construction of school health facilities, Andres Bonifacio Central School, San Carlos City, Negros Occidental. Contract ID number 25RE0028, construction of school health facilities, Escalante National High School, Sitio of Escalante, Negros Occidental. And contract ID number 25RE0029, construction of classrooms, Bunga Integrated School, Salvador, Benedicto, Negros Occidental. Number 4 is contract ID number 25RE0030, construction of classrooms, Salvador, Benedicto, ES or Elementary School, Salvador, Benedicto, Negros Occidental. We have number 5, contract ID number 25RE0031, for the construction of classrooms, Dolis Elementary School, Calatrava, Negros Occidental. Number 6, contract ID number 25RE0032, construction of farm to mill road, Sitio Iliranan to Sitio Marabilis, Barangay Codcod, San Carlos City, Negros Occidental. Number 7 is contract ID number 25RE0033, completing of farm to mill road, Sitio Cabagtasan to Sitio Napaturan, Barangay Codcod, San Carlos City, Negros Occidental. And last, contract ID number 25RE0034, road widening along Bacolod North Road, section ID is 00425NR, kilometer or K00117 plus 739 to K00118 plus 290, and K0118 plus 398 to K0118 plus 531. So these are the individual details of each contract or the contract data. So for contract ID number 25RE0027, with contract name, construction of school health facilities, Andres Bonifacio Central School, San Carlos City, Negros Occidental. Location, San Carlos City, Negros Occidental. The implementing office is DPWH Negros Occidental 5th District Engineering Office. The funding source is CY 2025 BEFF under PSHF or Health Facilities Batch 1. The approved budget for the contract or ABC is 3,582,626.97. The scope of works, construction of 1-unit school clinic. The scope of works include earthworks, plain and reinforced concrete works, finishing and other civil works, sanitary and plumbing works, septic vault, roofing and roofing frameworks, electrical and mechanical works, or as indicated in the approved plans and specifications and as directed by the engineer. Contract duration is 90 calendar days. So these are the requirements of our bidding documents for the major and similar category of works. For the major category of works, BIC, WOPLC or buildings construction without piles, low-rise concrete frame, 1 to 5 stories. For similar categories of works, BIC, WPH, CCP, buildings construction with piles, high-rise concrete frame, cast-in-place piles, and BIC, WPL, CCP, buildings construction with piles, low-rise concrete frame, cast-in-place piles. Another similar category of works, BICW, PHCDP, or buildings construction with piles, high-rise concrete frame, driven piles, BICW, PLCDP, buildings construction with piles, low-rise concrete frame, driven piles, and BICW, OPHC, buildings construction without piles, high-rise concrete frame, BIL, buildings industrial plant low-rise, BIH buildings industrial plant high-rise, BIM buildings industrial plant medium-rise. So these are the list of key personnel. For our key personnel, project manager, project engineer, materials engineer, construction safety officer, and foreman, the number of personnel is 1. And for the minimum years of similar experience, for the project manager and foreman is 1 year, and minimum years of total work experience is 3 years for both for project manager and foreman. Whereas for the project engineer, materials engineer, and construction safety officer, the qualification should be an accredited project engineer, materials engineer, and with cost training respectively. And these are the list of key equipment units. We have one bagger mixer, 2 units, cargo or service truck, 1 unit, the water truck or pump, 1 unit, generator set, 2 units, welding machine, 1 unit, concrete vibrator, 2 units, bar cutter, 25 mm diameter, 1 unit, bar bender, also 25 mm diameter, 1 unit, cutting outfit, 1 unit, plate compactor, 2 units, boom truck, 1 unit. So for the minimum material testing equipment for small contractors, kindly refer to Department Order 11 Series of 2017 for the minimum material testing equipment, and DEO 127 Series of 2018 or the strict application of RA 9184 in the conduct of post-qualification of bidders with delayed ongoing contracts with the DPWH. So the required pickup license for this contract are license category C and D, and for the classification is small b. For the next contract ID 25RE0028, contract name, construction of school health facilities, Escalante National High School, City of Escalante, Negros Occidental. Location, City of Escalante, Negros Occidental. The implementing office is DPWH Negros Occidental 5th, DEO. Again, the funding source is CY 2025 BEFF, PSHF, Batch 1. The approved budget for the contract is 3,421,514.08. Scope of works, construction of 1 unit school clinic. Scope of works include earthworks, plain and reinforced concrete works, finishing and other civil works, sanitary and plumbing works, septic vault, roofing and roof framing works, electrical works and mechanical works, or as indicated in the approved plans and specifications, or as directed by the engineer. Contract duration is 90 calendar days. Again, for the requirements of bidding documents for the major and similar category of works, for the major category, BICW, OPLC, buildings, construction without piles, low-rise concrete frame, 1 to 5 stories. And for the similar categories of works, BICW, PHCCP, buildings, construction with piles, high-rise concrete frame, cast-in-place piles, and BICW, PLCCP, buildings, construction with piles, low-rise concrete frame, cast-in-place piles. Again, continuation for similar categories of works, BICW, PHCDP, buildings, construction with piles, high-rise concrete frame, driven piles, BICWP, LCDP, buildings, construction with piles, low-rise concrete frame, driven piles, BICW, OPHC, buildings, construction without piles, high-rise concrete frame, BIL or buildings, industrial plant, low-rise, BIH, buildings, industrial plant, high-rise, BIM, buildings, industrial plant, medium-rise. For the list of key personnel, for the project manager, project engineer, materials engineer, construction safety officer, and foreman, the number of personnel required is 1, and 1 year for the minimum years of similar experience for project manager and foreman, and 3 years for their minimum years of total work experience. So the qualifications of the project engineer, materials engineer, and construction safety officer should be an accredited project engineer and materials engineer, and the course or attended the course training. For our key equipment units, 1 bagger mixer, 2 service or cargo truck, 1 unit, water truck or water pump, 1 unit, generator set, 2 units, welding machine, 1 unit, 2 units for concrete vibrator, 1 unit for bar cutter, bar bender, and cutting outfit, 2 units for plate compactor, and 1 unit for boom truck. And again, for the minimum material testing equipment for small contractors, again, kindly refer to Department Order 11, Series of 2017 for the minimum material testing equipment, and Department Order 127, Series of 2018, or the strict application of RA 9184 in the conduct of post-qualification of bidders with delayed ongoing contracts with the DPWH. The required pickup license for this contract as follows. license category C and D, and the minimum classification is small b.
For contract ID number 25RE0029, contract name, construction of classrooms, Bunga Integrated School, Salvador, Benedicto, Negros Occidental. Location, Salvador, Benedicto, Negros Occidental. Implementing Office, DPWH Negros Occidental, 5th DEO. Funding source, FY 2025 RA12116 under BEFF Batch 1. Approved budget for the contract is 5,031 pesos and 40 centavos. Scope of works, complete construction of one-story, two-classroom school building with toilet and hand wash area. The scope of works include earthworks, plain and reinforced concrete works, finishing other civil works, sanitary and plumbing works, septic vault, roofing and roof framing works, electrical works, mechanical works, and tile works, or as indicated in the approved plans and specifications or as directed by the engineer. Contract duration is 154 calendar days. For the requirements of bidding documents for the major and similar categories of works, for the major category of works, BICWO PLC, buildings construction without piles, low-rise concrete frame 1 to 5 stories. For the similar categories of works, BICWPH CCP, buildings construction with piles, high-rise concrete frame cast-in-place piles. BICWPLCCP, buildings construction with piles, low-rise concrete frame cast-in-place piles. BICWPH CDP, buildings construction with piles, high-rise concrete frame driven piles. BICWPL CDP, buildings construction with piles, low-rise concrete frame driven piles. BICWOBHC, buildings construction without piles, high-rise concrete frame. BIL, buildings industrial plant, low-rise. BIH, buildings industrial plant, high-rise, and BIM, buildings industrial plant, medium-rise. For the list of key personnel for the position of project manager, project engineer, materials engineer, construction safety officer, and foreman is 1. For the minimum years of similar experience, the same position for project manager and foreman is 1. And for the minimum years of total work experience for project manager and foreman is 3. Qualifications for project engineer, materials engineer, and construction safety officer, DPWH accredited project engineer, materials engineer, and VIDCOSH training for construction safety officer. For the list of key equipment units, 1 bagger mixer, 2 units. For cargo service truck, water truck or pump, and generator set is 1 unit. Welding machine, 2 units. Concrete vibrator, 2 units. Bar cutter, bar bender, and cutting outfit, 1 unit each. Plate compactor is 2 units. For the minimum materials testing equipment for small contractors, please refer to DEO 11 series of 2017 for the minimum materials testing equipment, and DEO 127 series of 2018 RA 9184 in the conduct of post-qualification of bidders with the lead ongoing contracts with DPWH. The required pickup license for this contract is license category C and D, and for license classification is small b. For contract ID number 25RE00330, contract name, construction of classroom, Salvador Benedicto Elementary School, Salvador Benedicto, Negros Occidental. Location, Salvador Benedicto, Negros Occidental. Implementing Office, DPWH Negros Occidental, 5th DEO. Funding source, FY 2025 RA12116 under BEFF Batch 1. Approved budget for the contract is 5,031 pesos and 40 centavos. Scope of works, complete construction of one-story, two-classroom school building with toilet and hand wash area. The scope of works include earthworks, plain and reinforced concrete works, finishing other civil works, sanitary and plumbing works, septic vault, roofing and roof framing works, electrical works, mechanical works, and tile works are as indicated in the plans and specifications or as directed by the engineer. Contract duration is 154 calendar days. For the major category of works, buildings, construction without piles, low-rise concrete frame, 1 to 5 stories. For the similar categories of works, Buildings construction with piles high-rise concrete frame cast in place piles. Buildings construction with piles low-rise concrete frame cast in place piles. Buildings construction with piles high-rise concrete frame driven piles. Buildings construction with piles low-rise concrete frame driven piles. Buildings construction without piles high-rise concrete frame. Buildings industrial plant low-rise. Buildings industrial plant high-rise and buildings industrial plant medium-rise. For the list of key personnel, number of personnel for each position: project manager, project engineer, materials engineer, construction safety officer, and foreman is 1. For the minimum years of similar experience, 1 for project manager and foreman. For the minimum years of total work experience is 3 for project manager and foreman. Qualifications is DPWH accredited project engineer for project engineer, DPWH accredited materials engineer for materials engineer, and with COSH training minimum for construction safety officer. For the list of key equipment units, 1 bagger mixer 2 units. For cargo or service truck, water truck or pump, and generator set is 1 unit each. Building machine 2 units. Concrete vibrator 2 units. But for bar cutter, bar bender, and cutting outfit 1 unit each. 8 compactor 2 units. Also, please refer to DEO 11 series of 2017 for the minimum materials testing equipment, and DEO 1 to 7 series of 2018, the strict application of RA 9184 in the conduct of post qualification of bidders in the late ongoing contracts with DPWH. License category is C and D, and for license classification is small B.
For contract ID number 25RE0031, construction of classrooms, Dolis ES, Calatrava, Negros Occidental. Locations, Calatrava, Negros Occidental. Implementing office, DPWH Negros Occidental 5th DEO. Funding source, FY 2025 RA 12116 DEFF Batch 1. Approved budget for the contract is 9,897,633.75. The scope of works: complete construction of 2 units and 1-story, 2 classroom school building with toilet and hand wash area. The scope of works include earthworks, plain and reinforced concrete works, finishing and other civil works, sanitary and plumbing works, septic vault, storm drainage and downspout, roofing and roofing frameworks, electrical works and mechanical works or as indicated in approved plans and specification or as directed by the engineer. The contract duration is 190 calendar days. For the major and similar categories of works, BICWO PLC, buildings construction without piles, low-rise concrete frame, 1 to 5 stories. The similar categories of works is BIC WPHCCP, buildings construction with piles, high-rise concrete frame, cast-in-place piles. BIC WPLCCP, buildings construction with piles, low-rise concrete frame, cast-in-place piles. BIC WPCDP, buildings construction with piles, high-rise concrete frame, driven piles. BIC WPLCDP, buildings construction with piles, low-rise concrete frame, driven piles. BIC WOPHC, buildings construction without piles, high-rise concrete frame. BIL, buildings industrial plant, low-rise. BIH, buildings industrial plant, high-rise. BIM, buildings industrial plant, medium-rise. For the list of key personnel, for the project manager, project engineer, materials engineer, construction safety officer, and foreman, the minimum number of personnel is 1. The minimum years of similar experience for project manager and foreman is 3, and the minimum years of total work experience is 5 years. Qualification for project engineer, DPWH accredited project engineer, and also with materials engineer, DPWH accredited, and the construction safety officer with COSH training. For the list of key equipment units, 1 bagger mixer, 2 units. cargo service truck 1, water truck pump 1, generator set 2, welding machine 2. Concrete vibrator 2, bar cutter 1, bar bender 1, cutting outfit 1, plate compactor 2. Again, for the minimum materials testing equipment for small contractors, please refer to DEO 11 series of 2017 for the minimum materials testing equipment, and DEO 127 series of 2018 strict application of RA 9184 in the conduct of post-qualification of bidders with delayed ongoing contracts with the DPWH. The required pickup license for this contract is as follows: license category C and D, and license classification small b. For contract ID 25RE0032, construction of Farm to Mill Road, Sitio Iliranan to Sitio Marabilis, Barangay Codcod, San Carlos City, Negros Occidental. Locations: San Carlos City, Negros Occidental. The implementing office is DPWH Negros Occidental 5th DEO. Funding source FY 2025 DA/SRA. The approved budget for the contract is 15,365,105.86 centavos. Scope of works: construction of concrete road with 300 millimeter thick and 5 meters pavement width, including shoulder, drainage, and slope protection. The contract duration is 180 calendar days. For the major and similar categories of works: RCP, roads construction PCCP, RRP, roads rehabilitation PCCP, RCTP, roads construction tunnel PCCP. For the list of key personnel: for the project manager, project engineer, materials engineer, construction safety officer, and foreman, the minimum number of personnel is 1. The minimum years of similar experience for project manager and foreman is 3 years, and also the minimum years of total work experience for project manager and foreman is 5 years. Project engineer must be DPWH accredited, and also with materials engineer, DPWH accredited, and the construction safety officer with course training. List of equipment units: transit mixer 1, water truck pump 1, 1 bagger mixer 1, motorized road grader 1, vibratory roller 1, backhoe 1, mechanized joint sealer 1, dump truck 1, concrete skidder 1, concrete vibrator 2. Again, for the minimum materials testing equipment for small contractors, refer to DO 11 series of 2017 for the minimum materials testing equipment, and DO 127 series of 2018 strict application of RA 9184 in the conduct of post-qualification of bidders with delayed ongoing contracts with the DPWH. The required pickup license is license category C and D, and license classification is small b. For contract ID 25RE0033, concreting of Farm to Mill Road, Sitio Cabagtasan to Sitio Napaturan, Barangay Codcod, San Carlos City, Negros Occidental. Location is San Carlos City, Negros Occidental. Implementing office, Negros Occidental 5th DEO. Funding source FY 2025 DA/SRA. Approved budget for the contract is 15,365,105 pesos and 86 centavos. Scope of works: construction of 300 millimeter thick by 5 meter width PCCP and necessary slope protection structures. The contract duration is 180 calendar days. For the major and similar categories of works: RCP, roads construction PCCP, RRP, roads rehabilitation PCCP, RCTP, roads construction tunnel PCCP. For the list of key personnel: for project manager, project engineer, materials engineer, construction safety officer, and foreman, the minimum number of personnel is 1. The minimum years of similar experience for project manager and foreman is 3 years, and the minimum years of total work experience for project manager and foreman is 5 years. The project engineer must be a DPWH accredited, and also with materials engineer, DPWH accredited, and for the construction safety officer, with cost training. For the list of key equipment units, classic mixer 1, water truck pump 1 bagger mixer 1, motorized road grader 1, vibratory roller 1, backhoe 1, mechanized joint sealer 1, dump truck 2, concrete scaler 1, concrete vibrator 2. And again, for the minimum materials testing equipment for small contractors, refer to DEO 11 series of 2017 for the minimum materials testing equipment, and DEO 127 series of 2018 strict application of RA 9184 in the conduct of post-qualification of bidders with delayed ongoing contracts with the DPWH. The required pickup license is license category C and D, and license classification is small b.
For contract ID number 25RE0034, contract name Road Widening along Bacolod North Road S00425NR, kilometer 117 to 739 to kilometer 118 plus 290, kilometer 118 plus 398 to kilometer 118 plus 531. Location, Calatrava, Negros Occidental. Implementing Office, DPWH Negros Occidental 5th DEO. Funding source, FY 2025 General Appropriations Act. Approved budget for the contract is 18,750,365 pesos. Scope of works, road widening from 2 to 4 lanes, 6.10 meters width, 0.300 meters thick, including pavement shoulder both sides, sidewalks, low protection structure, and thermoplastic pavement markings. Contract duration is 142 calendar days. For the requirements of bidding documents for major category works, RCP, Roads Construction, PCCP. For the similar categories of works, RRP, Roads Rehabilitation, PCCP. RCTP, Roads Construction, Tunnel, PCCP. For the list of key personnel, number of personnel is 1 for each project manager, project engineer, materials engineer, construction safety officer, and foreman. Qualifications, DPWH accredited project engineer for project engineer, DPWH accredited materials engineer for materials engineer, and with COSH training for construction safety officer. For the list of key equipment units, backhoe 1, dump truck 2 units, bulldozer 1 unit, payloader 1 unit, motorized road grader 1 unit, vibratory roller 1 unit, water truck or pump 1 unit, transit mixer 2 units, concrete vibrator 2 units, concrete spreader 1 unit, concrete saw, bar cutter, plate compactor, 1 bagger mixer, backhoe, and mechanized joint sealer is 1 unit each. For the minimum materials testing equipment for small contractors, please refer to DO 11 series of 2017 and DO 127 series of 2018 for the strict application of RA 9184 in the conduct of post-qualification of bidders with the late ongoing contracts with DPWH. The required pickup license for this contract is as follows. License category C and D, and license classification is small b. For the schedules, deadline for submission of clarification is on April 22, 2026. Deadlines for submission of bids is on April 29, 2026. Number of copies of bid proposal is 1 original copy of technical and financial envelope of its bid. For the place of submission of bids, Conference Room DPWH Negros Occidental 5th DEO, San Carlos City, Negros Occidental. Please note that pursuant to Memorandum Circular Number 114 Series of 2026, issued by the Office of the President implementing 4-day on-site work arrangement, on-site inquiries and inspection of bidding documents on Fridays may not be feasible. Interested bidders may instead coordinate with the Bank Secretariat through contact number, email address.
We have Class A documents, legal documents, valid PhilJobs registration certificate, platinum membership, all pages as per GPPB Resolution Number 15, Series of 2021. Technical documents, we have statement of the prospective bidder of all its ongoing government and private contracts, including contracts awarded but not yet started, if any, whether similar or not similar in nature and complexity to the contract to be bid. Statement of the bidder's single largest completed contract similar to the contract to be bid, except under conditions provided under the rules with certificate of acceptance. Philippine Contractors Accreditation Board or PCAB license or special PCAB license in case of joint ventures and registration for the type and cost of the contract to be bid. Original copy of bid security in the prescribed form, amount, and validity period, or original copy of notarized bill securing declaration and project requirements, which shall include the following: organizational chart for the contract to be bid, list of contractors' key personnel, example, project manager, project engineers, materials engineers, and foremen, to be assigned to the contract to be bid with their complete qualification and experience data. List of contractors' major equipment units which are owned, leased, or under purchase agreements supported by proof of ownership or certification of availability of equipment from the equipment lessor vendor for the duration of the project as the case may be. List of contractors' minimum material testing equipment as per DEO 11 Series of 2017. Original duly signed omnibus sworn statement and, if applicable, original notarized secretary certificate in case of a corporation, partnership, or cooperative, or original special power of attorney of all members of a joint venture, giving full power and authority to its officer to sign the OSS and do acts to represent the bidder. For the financial documents, the prospective bidder's audited financial statement showing, among others, the prospective bidder's total and current assets and liabilities, stamped received by the BIR or its duly accredited and authorized institutions for the preceding calendar year, which should not be from the date of bid submission. The prospective bidder's computation of net financial contracting capacity or NFCC. For Class B documents or for joint venture, valid joint venture agreement, and if applicable, duly signed joint venture agreement in accordance with RA number 4566 and its IRR in case of the joint venture is already in existence, or duly notarized statements from all the potential joint venture partners stating that they will enter into and abide by the provisions of the JVA in the instance that the bid is successful. Please take note that for manual submission of bids, the technical documents is preferably book-bounded. The contents of technical documents are preferably numbered, paginated consecutively in the right-hand top margin and signed below page number by a duly authorized representative for both manual and electronic submission of bids. Any missing, incomplete, or patently insufficient document in the required checklist is a ground for outright rejection or non-complying of the bid. For the submission and receipt of bids, so here are the contents of the second envelope or financial proposal. Original of duly signed and accomplished financial bid form. Original of duly signed bid prices in the bill of quantities. Duly accomplished detailed estimates form including a summary sheet indicating the unit prices of construction materials, labor rates, and equipment rentals used in coming up with a bid, and cash flow by quarter. Please take note that for manual submission of bids, the financial documents is preferably book-bounded. The contents of financial documents are preferably numbered, paginated consecutively at the right top margin, and signed below page number by duly authorized representative for both manual and electronic submission of the bids. Any missing, incomplete, or patently insufficient documents in the required checklist is a ground for outright rejection or non-complying of the bid. So here are the common reasons for rejection of bids, ineligibility, and post-disqualification of bidders. Failure to submit the original copy of the surety bond certified by the Insurance Commission indicating the name of project, the procuring entity, and name of contractor. Shorter bid validity and bid security validity period. Overlapping of pledged equipment and committed key technical personnel. Failure to indicate the validity of bid in the bid form, and late submission of bid. We also have failure to submit supporting documents, example, certification of availability of equipment from the equipment lessor vendor for the duration of the project if equipment pledge is to be leased or purchased, negative slippage of at least 15% in any one project, or negative slippage of at least 10% in each of two or more contracts. unsatisfactory CPES rating. Here are the common errors in the submission of bids. Single proprietor, signatory should be the owner or proprietor only. For corporation or cooperative, the Board of Secretaries certificate and board resolution. For joint venture resolution or agreement. For partnership, as indicated in the Articles of Partnership. For the bid security, the bid validity period is 120 calendar days from the date of submission of bids. For the bid security validity period, it's 120 calendar days from the date of submission of bids. So the bidder shall submit a bid securing declaration or any form of bid security enumerated below. So we have cash or cashier's or manager's check issued by a universal or commercial bank, bank draft, guarantee, or irrevocable LC issued by a universal or commercial bank. So the amount of bid security for the mentioned items, not less than percentage of the ABC, is 2%. For surety bond callable upon demand issued by a surety or insurance company duly certified by the Insurance Commission as authorized to issue such security is 5%. For the bid evaluation, the financial component of the bids of each past bidder shall be evaluated using non-discretionary criteria, including arithmetical corrections for computational errors, and thus determine the correct total calculated bid prices. The bank shall automatically disqualify any total calculated bid price which exceeds the ABC. So here are the following factors to be considered in the evaluation of the bid prices. So for completeness, no price in required item, non-responsive, indicating a 0 or a dash, free to the government. All prices are deemed to include all taxes. Bids not addressing or providing all of the required items in the bidding documents, including where applicable BOQ, shall be considered non-responsive. For arithmetical corrections, bid prices and figures versus words, words prevail. For total price per item versus unit price per item, unit price prevails. Total price versus actual sum of component items, actual sum prevails. Unit cost and detailed estimate versus unit cost in BOQ, BOQ prevails. If above ABC, it is disqualified. For post-qualification, verification, validation, and ascertainment of statements made and documents submitted, we have the legal requirements, licenses, certificates, permits, agreements, and exclusion in any blacklist. For technical requirements, we have key personal minimum work experience requirements should be satisfied, availability and commitment of major construction equipment, failure of the prospective bidder to state the complete technical description of the pledged equipment and the specific location, whether owned, leased, or under purchase agreement, shall result in the bidder's automatic post-disqualification for award of contract and forfeiture of its bid security as per DEO number 58, series of 2012. For technical requirements, performance in ongoing government and private contracts, negative slippage of at least 15% in any one project, or negative slippage of at least 10% in each of two or more contracts. Failure of the contractor to commence repair works and complete ongoing contracts in the prescribed date after receipt of the notice of defects and deficiencies. Failure of the contractor to commence repair works on contracts with pending certificates of acceptance in the prescribed date after receipt of the notice of defects and failures. Substandard quality of works or unsatisfactory performance per contract per conditions at the term of inspection. DEO number 127, series of 2018, strict application of RA 9184 in the conduct of the post-qualification of bidders with delayed ongoing contracts with DPWH. Authenticity and correctness of bid security, financial requirements, bid price proposal, and NFCC. So here are the notes on the personal and equipment requirements of the project as per DEO number 9, series of 2012, or technical requirements for civil works projects for public bidding. If a proposed key technical personnel is an employee of the bidder and working on another project at the same time of the bidding, the bidder shall submit a certification that one personnel will be pulled out from the ongoing project once the bidder is awarded to the contract, and 2, he or she will be replaced with another person with equal or better qualifications as certified by the head of the implementing office. Also, the bidder may propose a key technical personnel who is not its employee, provided that the said personnel is required to submit a certification that he or she will work for the bidder if it is awarded in a contract under bidding. These certifications shall be included in the first envelope of the sealed bid. Also, to be verified during post-qualification is the set of equipment pledged by the bidder. The bidder should specify in the submitted bid the location of the equipment where they can be inspected, and if any equipment is not in the specified location, then the bidder shall be post-disqualified. So for the contract award, the contract shall be awarded to the bidder whose bid has been determined to be the lowest calculated and responsive bid as a result of the detailed evaluation and post-qualification conducted. Contract award should be made within the bid validity period. Subcontracting is not allowed.
How about from the representatives from DPWH? Hearing none, I hereby declare this private conference adjourned. 10:55 in the morning. Thank you, back members, Secretariat, DPWH, of course, our Deputy Secretary for coming. Thank you.